Alright, the Sony X3000 1 year later update. So what's up everybody? So 1 year ago I actually bought this camera in Taipei, Taiwan. I actually made my first video with this camera and I didn't know what to expect. And so I've been using this camera now for a year. I've created like 20 some odd vlogs with it. And I just want to share with you everything that I like about this camera and things I don't like. So let's get to it. What's this guy doing? Alright, there's a random dog here. Alright everybody, so the first pro of this camera would be something just like that, where you can capture some like impromptu random event that happens quickly and easily. And the reason is because like having a smaller camera makes vlogging a lot of fun and more easy, because this camera is the right combination of just being small, light, and easy to use. And you're actually going to want to take this camera with you, because I've had a point and shoot. You know, my early videos were made with a point and shoot, and that's okay, but it's not really pocketable. And so sometimes you're not going to want to take it with you. And I don't like how close a point and shoot is on the face, where it's just really, it's a really tight shot, and I just don't like that look. And then because I have a professional YouTube channel where I make website tutorials and whatnot, I have a proper Canon camera, big lens, big fluffy microphone, fantastic for like online course creation and whatnot. But I tried vlogging with that, and I have a few videos on the channel where I tried vlogging with that, and I can tell you, like, that's not fun. Like, that's not fun to use. That kind of setup is like really, it feels like a job. Like, this is fun. Like, this is easy. This is easy, like no problem. Like, having a big stupid camera is like not fun, and you're not going to want to take it with you, because you're going to be in the situation sometimes where you're going out with your friends and you're whatever, and you're going to be like, do I really want to take my big heavy camera with me? And you're not going to take it with you at times, and you're going to miss cool random things that happen, unfortunately. And so I think the big selling point for me of a camera like this is that just fun. It's just fun and easy to use, and you'll take it with you. Because think about, like, if you're in Thailand and you're going to like Khao Road and you want to show off for what that's like, are you really going to want to lug your big heavy camera and your big fluffy microphone? Like, no, you're not. Like, you're going to want just something light and chill that you just put in your pocket, take it out if something cool happens, and boom, hit the power button, turn it on. Second later, boom, hit the power button and start recording. You're not going to want to have to like fiddle with a big camera body and a tripod and all this other complicated gear. And so, broadly speaking, that's the first pro of this camera. You're actually going to use it. You're actually going to take it with you. You can actually get the shot as you're going about your day when cool things happen. You know, like I was in Haizang and driving around on a motorbike. Whoa, look at this. Boom, take the camera out, record. And then you can make a really interesting, compelling vlog. Because that's the whole point of a vlog, is kind of like be a little bit voyeuristic, I guess, and take people on your day and show them what's going on. And I mean, again, it depends on like what your goal is. If you want to be a professional filmmaker, sure, I respect that. But like, if you're just like me and you just want to vlog casually for fun, get a camera that can do that. And so that's why I really like the Sony X3000. So one thing I also really like about this camera are the multiple angles that you have built in. So what you're looking at right now is the wide angle. And the wide angle is fantastic for a variety of uses. Like, in general, this is the angle that you're going to be using the most. It's perfect if you're walking inside a building. It's great to show landscapes or a city, wherever you're walking around, because there's no point in going to somewhere like really beautiful and amazing, like I did, like Haizang, and then the whole video is just your face, your big head in the shot. Nobody wants that unless you're like a narcissist. You know, so it's like, it's really nice that this camera has the ability to change the angle. And you have this really nice wide angle. We have a nice field of view. But what's cool is that you can switch to different angles. And so you can like mix up your clips a little bit. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm gonna switch the camera to medium and show you what that's like. All right, so now we're in the same exact spot, but now we are on medium. And this is what it looks like if you vlog with medium, where it's acceptable. It's still a tight shot, but now this looks like a standard like point and shoot, or any camera that has an 18mm zoom lens on it. It looks like a normal camera. It doesn't look like a action camera. And it's nice because you can just mix it up, okay? You can mix the clips up. So if you're someone who like, you just don't like that wide angle look, you just don't like it, the X3000 is no problem. You can switch it to this angle and okay, there you go. Now we have a normal looking camera if you want. And the last angle, which I'll show you, is the narrow angle. And narrow, I think, is the most misunderstood angle possible. Because I've seen other YouTube videos, and what they'll do is like they'll take a shot like this and compare the different angles, like wide, medium, and narrow. And it's like, guys, like narrow is to zoom in on something like food or coffee or like whatever it is you want to do. So I'll use narrow and I'll just show off the flowers what it looks like. So this is narrow and the camera is pretty close to these flowers. And this is what narrow is for, to kind of show a little bit more detail of like whatever it is you want to zoom in on. Narrow is not for doing this. I mean, I guess you could, but narrow works best if like you want to show off food, coffee, whatever. You know, you want to add that B-roll to your, you know, your video. You can do that with this camera like this. I mean, it doesn't look amazing, but you know, that's what narrow is used for. Okay, and so the next thing that is really great about this camera is the audio. So right now I'm using just the internal audio of the Action camera, and this is what it sounds like. But one thing that I want to emphasize that people never mention is that you can do this. Like you can turn the camera around, do a point of view shot, and you don't have to adjust anything, and the audio sounds great. Because I think a lot of beginners don't realize that, like, if you have a camera and you have a microphone on top, if you turn the camera away from you, the audio sounds terrible. Same with a point and shoot. Point and shoot sounds good like this. If you turn a point and shoot away from you like this to show something, the audio can sound really bad. And so the X3000, I don't know what black magic Sony did with this camera, but the audio's good. It sounds, you know, it's not like, oh, so amazing, but it's like, yeah, it's good. I don't need an external microphone. And with that said though, if you want to have an external microphone, you can have an external microphone with this camera. So on the back of it, there's a little slot if you want to put in like a lapel mic, or if you want to do some big goofy setup like other people I've seen do, like take this little Action camera and like mount it on this big tripod thingy and have like a big microphone. That's so stupid. You don't need to do that, but you know, I like that you have the flexibility where, you know, maybe if you're doing like a sit-down talking head shot and it's like a 1 minute thing, you just want like really premium audio, you can do that. Or maybe if you really want a lapel mic, you can do that. But the audio is really nice, and something that people don't emphasize enough, in my opinion, with this camera is that you can turn the camera away from you and it sounds fantastic. Alright, so now let's talk about briefly accessories with this camera. What do you get? So when I bought the Sony X3000, I got the camera obviously, and I got the little monitor came with it. That's really helpful, and it also comes with its own waterproof case, which works fantastic and looks great. And that's what you can get. So I'm going to show a clip right now of my current setup. So I had those three things, and then I also was able to buy the specific tripod for the X3000 when I was in Bangkok. And the little tripod that is specifically designed for this thing is amazing because you can position the monitor and with the Action camera, and so then you can like frame your shot. Now in general, because this is such a wide field of view, you do get used to filming yourself on this camera. Like you just learn over time how to like what looks good and what doesn't look good. So you really don't need to use the monitor that much. But I find myself using the monitor just when I want to show something specific, like if I'm using like the narrow field of view, for example, or if I'm like there's something specific over here that I really want to show, then I'll use the monitor. But you know, in general, you don't need to use the monitor, but like that whole combination, this little tripod, this camera, and the monitor together, one, it looks cool, it looks like a little Star Wars space gun, but two, it's just super duper helpful because the whole combination of everything just works really well to make vlogging fun and easy. It's a really light handheld setup, and it fits in your backpack really quick and easy. It's not heavy, and you know, all these accessories together make for vlogging just a joy. Stabilization. So this thing has like mechanical stabilization built into it. And so what does that mean? It's like if you use the GoPro, for example, GoPro actually uses some type of like digital stabilization. And so it looks fantastic, but the GoPro I think gets a little too smooth, where it looks like fake. Whereas with the X3000, I'm just walking normally. The video is nice and smooth, but there's a little bit of movement in the video, which I really like. Sort of like it looks like a video game almost, like a genuine point of view video game type shot, and I think it's cool. And so that's why I'm really impressed with this. But one thing that people never mention is that, like the GoPro, for example, because it uses a digital stabilization, it falls apart at night. And the X3000 is not particularly good at night either, but it's acceptable and it's going to be stable, where because the GoPro uses, you know, software to stabilize the video, at night it just falls apart. And so that's something that's really important, because I got into an online argument with Justin Reeves. He's a camera review bro who gives vlogging advice, but he doesn't vlog. And he was like, the Canon 200D or SL2, oh, that's the at best budget vlogging camera. And I'm like, I left a comment being like, dude, that's the worst camera for vlogging. Like, there's no stabilization. And I'll play a clip right now of me walking in Koh Rong using the Canon 200D, and it's just a big shaky mess. And stabilization is non-negotiable for a vlog. Absolutely non-negotiable. Because you don't want your video to be a big shaky mess. People are not going to enjoy it. They're going to get a headache from watching your video. And this thing's just impressive because of the Boss stabilization, as it's called. It's just it's just a type of mechanical stabilization that's built into this camera, and it's fantastic. You don't need a tripod. Let me go this way because get away from drills. But I just want to emphasize that because. Again, I just get annoyed when I have to listen to camera review guys who don't vlog, give vlogging advice, and you know, they don't know what vloggers want and need. They just think like, oh, flippy screen, and oh, wide angle. But like, yeah, okay, but you need stabilization built in, and you don't want a big heavy camera. So if you actually vlog, you would know that. And so that's all I want to just bring up. And something I just am very, very impressed with this camera is just the natural look when you're walking and doing a point of view shot like this. It's great. I actually had Bon Mi here the other day. It's pretty good. All right, so now I just want to talk about the settings with this camera. So I'm pretty overall impressed with the setting features that you have built in. Believe it or not, with this camera you can shoot at 60 frames a second at 1080p, 30 frames, or 24p, and you can also shoot at 4K. What? Yeah, 4K. It's pretty amazing. And it's going to be at 30 frames a second, but if you want to shoot at 4K, you can shoot at 4K. In general, as someone who uses this camera, I'm telling you right now that most likely you're going to be recording at 60 frames, 1080p. For whatever reason, that looks best. And so, you know, but you have the option if you want to switch it up. If you for whatever reason, like maybe you're shooting other clips with a proper mirrorless camera at 24p, and you just want to mix in shots from this camera, you can do that, okay? So you have that flexibility, which I really like. And last is you also have different color profiles. So I'm currently shooting in Vivid. I find that Vivid looks best, but they have another one that's called, I think, Neutral. And so Neutral can be a little bit more color graded, just a little bit. It's not like a flat color profile, but it's as close as you're going to get with an action camera if you really want to get into color grading, which I don't recommend with an action camera, but you can do whatever you want. All right, so is this the perfect camera? Is there no flaws? No, there's some issues. I mean, you know, let's get into some cons. Now, this will be short and brief because there's not too many cons, but one con that I don't really like is that because you have to shoot at like a 60 frame rate, rendering videos does take a bit of time with this camera. And so just know going into that, just you're gonna need a decent computer to make videos with this camera. Just because it's so fun and so easy to shoot, it's very, very easy to create 30-minute to 2-hour long videos with this camera because it's just fun and easy. You're always gonna have it with you. There's always gonna be something cool. And so just know that videos can take a bit of time. Next, obviously, the wind. What are you gonna do? You know, there's little things you can put on the camera, I guess, if you want to go that route. But again, like with any point and shoot or action camera, you're gonna just be stuck with the with wind noise, okay? So yeah, that's a big downside. So, but that's just part and parcel of having an action camera. And then last is the battery. This thing takes forever to charge. Like this thing takes 2 hours to fully charge. Really weird and really annoying. Now the battery life is pretty good overall for an action camera, so I don't have it as a con because it's a small camera, small battery, like common sense, it's gonna not last that long. But you can get a solid hour and 30 minutes out of this thing, you know, maybe 2 hours or so. A little bit less if you have the monitor on and you have it, because it connects via Bluetooth to the camera. So you gotta be, you know, aware of that. But like what I do is I have a power bank. I have just a little tiny power bank. And so like when the camera's not in use, I'll get up to my power bank. If I know I'm gonna be on a trip, like Haizang, for example, I'm gonna be out in the mountains driving a motorbike, or a motorcycle actually, then, you know, I'll have it plugged in. And so that's pretty much it. So let's just end the video and give it just a quick conclusion. So overall, this is a fantastic vlogging camera. You get wide angle, medium angle, narrow. You can record at 60 frames a second, 30 frames, 24p. You can shoot at 4K. You have different color profiles. The audio sounds good. The audio sounds fine when you point the camera away from you and you show something. It's actually small and light. It actually fits in your pocket. Like you could go to go somewhere like a bar, or like going out with your friends and doing something fun, and you don't have to lug around some big dumb heavy camera with a big fluffy microphone. You can actually take it with you. You know, you're going to want to take it with you because it's fun and easy to use, and you can just get the shot. Random things happen, random cool things that happen really quick. You don't have time to like pull out your mirrorless camera, open it up, put the lens on, put the microphone on, put the tripod on. Yeah, 6 minutes later, oh, now you're ready. And then you get to lug around your big camera. It's like, yeah, okay, other YouTubers do that, but it's not for everybody. So just I'm just trying to help you make a decision whether or not it's right for you. Overall, I personally just have grown to love this camera for just fun, casual travel videos like I make here on this channel. Obviously, if you're like an aspiring filmmaker and whatnot, like you want to be the next Lost Blanc, you want to do something like that where you make like these big cinematic videos, then yeah, this thing's not for you. But if you want, maybe, but it also maybe a little bit, like if you're looking for, you know, a camera to something small and light, like Drew Binsky, for example, he's a travel YouTuber I really like, and he does a mix. He has this mirrorless camera and proper microphone and all that good stuff. But like when he's walking around the city, most of his videos, he's using a GoPro. He's not shooting on some big camera. He's shooting on a little camera like this because you want small and light. Because I'm hand holding this right now. Well, I'm not hand holding. I'm holding the tripod, but like I'm walking around holding this out with one arm. It's no problem. I can tell you right now, like go walk around with a Canon 90D on a tripod. see how long your arm gets tired from doing that. Like you could do that for like a minute. Oh, I'll get exhausted. And so, you know, that's it. And so I love the X3000. Fantastic camera. Not for everyone, but for most uses, you're gonna love it. You're gonna be really happy with your decision if you're looking for something fun and easy to use. Anyways, it's day before New Year's. They're getting set up here in Hanoi. We just came back from Haizang. Wonderful trip. And that's it. So, anyways guys, I'll leave it there for this video. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing, hit that like button, and I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.